In today's video, you will learn how to visually transform a playing card, otherwise known as a color change, and that is without video editing, of course. If you're new to Magic, this is absolutely essential for you to learn, and if you've already learned this before, well, I'm sure you can still discover some subtleties and variations that I've added. Let's check it out. Hi, my name is Bao. If you're new here, I've been doing Magic for over 15 years. If you want to start learning Magic, or if you simply want to enjoy some fun Magic related content, then you're on the right channel. If you're a returning subscriber, then welcome back. I missed you too. As you guys might already know, I have a full-time job that actually got super crazy during the holiday rush. And during that same period of time, I released my brand new deck of cards. So if you put that into perspective, I'm sure you can imagine that it's quite challenging to also run a YouTube channel. However, I'm actually really excited to one day fully focus on the Magic side of things, which includes this YouTube channel. I also wanted to add that thanks to you, this past year has been absolutely life-changing. So this represents the community that you guys are part of, and I can't thank you enough for your support. Wow, you talk too much. Teach the damn trick already. All right, so what you're about to learn is something that is absolutely essential for card magicians. If you're a seasoned magician who does Magic with cards, it is very likely that you already know this. This is actually something that I personally use a lot in my live performances. Now, if you see another magician perform this, whether it's in person or on a video, please don't go out there and expose them. That's a move. Now that's out of the way, let me share with you the secret. But before that, don't forget to hit like. All right, so let me show you the big picture of what's going on here. The card gets slightly pushed out like this. The base of your other hand here pulls this card back, and then as they cover, the color change happens. And all that happens with the cover of your hand. That looks like it's just rubbing it like this, and then it suddenly changes color like that. Wow. Now we're going to break this down and make sure that the motion that you're doing looks as natural as possible. Now, as much as we can, what we'll try to do is we'll try to eliminate movements that seem to be unnecessary or that cannot be justified. Let me show you some examples. So here are some examples. They're a little exaggerated, but just so that you get the idea, these are things that I try to avoid as much as possible. Now this here is a common way to do the classic color change, especially when you're a beginner. I see this often, and this works. Over the years, I found that a lot of these movements were unnecessary, such as why are we pushing a card all the way out and then pushing it back in, right? So what we're going to do is to eliminate that itself and make it into one seamless motion. So show of hands. I don't even show that I'm pushing the card out. We do push the card out a little bit, but as we go back, it's already squared and the card's already here, and then we can just bring it right back here. So instead of doing this whole motion here with all the extra steps, we're just going to try to make it look like one seamless motion like this. So let me show you how I do it. We do a double lift. So we turn the card over like this. Show that the hand is completely empty. Now, instead of pushing the card all the way out like this, what I like to do is with a pinky, I will push the card just a little bit. So in exposed view, I will push it just a teeny bit here, leaving this bottom part exposed. Now with the base of my hand here, I will pull this bottom card back. So when you do a palm, I know that the card kind of lands right here. So I would want, after I push this card out, I would want that area there to be in contact with this card here, so that when I grab it to the side with my pinky, I know that it's in perfect palming position. So here like this, and I'm in palming position. So this is what I do here to take the card. Now on top of pulling the card out, at the same time, before I show the card, this card that was pushed out a little bit is simultaneously pushed and squared back within the deck. So it doesn't look like I pushed a card out and pull it back in. I try to make that motion as seamless as possible. As you can see here, as I uncover the cards, the card is already flush to the deck. So view from the bottom, I push it out like this, but then as I pull it back, I already square it back up. And then I bring it back like this. So my pinky pushes the card up just a little bit. Base of my thumb pulls out the card, and at the same time, my first finger squares it up, and I can already take the card out like this. And as I reveal this, the card, the whole deck looks flush already. It's as if I haven't moved anything yet. It's just me just covering it like this and then waving my hand on top. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to make it look like we're just showing the hand empty. We're just waving the hand on top, and then the card changes. That is really the idea and what we're trying to mimic as much as possible. Card gets pushed out a little bit. I pull the card out like this, and now this is already flush to the deck. It doesn't look like I pushed the card out and push it back in. So it goes like this, already flush. Take it out, pull it back, already flush it here, the card's already there. And now you can bring it back here. So what you just saw was a double lift, pushing the card out a little bit, stealing the card as you push this flush, and then you have this situation right here. Now that we have the hard part, the easy part is to bring it flush, but you still have to do it properly. When you add the card back here, you want the card to be as flush as possible to the whole entire deck. And let me show you how I do that. So after you show your hands empty, you steal the card at the bottom, right? You want to place the card back here, but you don't want to just put it back here, right? You want to take it out, and you want to make it look like you're just waving your hands on top of the deck as you push the card back. Now the thing is, the card needs to be placed at the exact same spot. It cannot be a little sideways like this. It needs to be completely flush to the entire deck. And how I do it is by using all my other fingers around, right? The card will be placed back here, back on top, but it's really the pressure of all my fingers around the deck that pushes everything together, and everything will be neatly flushed together. So if I take it out like this, right, when I place it back, it won't always be very flush, but as I push it downwards, all my other fingers will also press so that the card is completely flush with the rest of the deck. So that way it looks like I'm just waving on top of the card and it changes color, and it doesn't look like I'm placing a card right on top. That's what we want to avoid. We don't want it to look like I'm placing a card on top, but I want it to look like I'm waving across the card and then it changes color. So here are the multiple ways that you can do the reveal. You can do it very slow, or you can do it very quickly. Show the hands empty, push it out, and then you can rub it like this, as if you just rub it and change it like that. So that, I find, is the most common way to change it. Then there's also the one where you cover your hand like this, and it's as if your shadow is changing the color. Then there's also a way to do it fast, and that will also require you to be able to place it flush as fast as possible. You cannot be placing it at the wrong spot, or else it'll be obvious that you place it back up. But what helps me is me pushing the card with my middle finger. So I'm almost bringing the card out like this, and I actually push the card with my middle finger. So when you take it out like this, you spring the card on top of the deck, and then my middle finger pushes it out like that. So those are the 3 different ways that I can reveal the color change. So I hope that was helpful. The following section of the video will go through everything one more time, but in very slow motion. So when you watch this video again, you need to practice. You can replay this section of the video. Enjoy. Now, before you go out and perform, always remember to practice. Practice in front of the mirror, or my favorite, practice in front of a camera where you can actually go back and watch where you make the mistakes, and then you can adjust them later on. If you made it all the way here, don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment with the word color change so that I know that you made it all the way here. I hope to see you again next time, and in the meantime, you can watch this video right here. Peace! And as much as we can, we try to eliminate movements that cannot be justified. My girlfriend's calling.